Luke Cage Season 2. Yes, guys, I finished binge watching the second season of Luke Cage. I loved the first season. And Season 2, I do gotta say right off the bat, is probably just as great as the first season. And I am really digging the Marvel Netflix shows. I love Daredevil Season 1 and 2. I like Jessica Jones. The first season, Season 2 was mediocre. Iron Fist could have had a lot of improvement, especially with Season 2 coming on the way. Defenders was really good. The Punisher was pretty good. And Luke Cage is just as awesome as the first season, Season 2. In Season 2 of Luke Cage is pretty much Harlem Spider-Man. He's the hero of Harlem. He's the face of Harlem. Everybody in Harlem loves Luke Cage. But also, Luke Cage is struggling inside with him is the fact that what his powers and him being bulletproof and his strength and his unbreakable skin, where is he going far with handling crime in Harlem, or is he doing the right thing? And that struggle within Cage is probably my favorite aspect of the season. Him dealing with the fact that how he handles crime, how he handles justice, and how he handles things like solving all the problems, beating up all the criminals. He's still trying to figure out like how he can handle all of that without killing anybody. And in some ways that makes this season a little bit better than the first season, because in Luke Cage Season 1, it was just showing how Luke Cage has unbreakable skin, how he's bulletproof, but in this season, it showed how he handles like handling crime in Harlem, how he's handled beating up the criminals, whether if it's the right thing to kill them or not. And that, like I said, that was my favorite part of this season. That's probably like the biggest strength and the biggest merit of Season 2 of Luke Cage, how Luke Cage in the struggle is pretty much like the main plus for the season. What makes the season like is as strong as the first season. And Mike Coulter, of course, obviously does an amazing job as Luke Cage. He owns his role. He made his role his own. And I cannot see anybody else playing Luke Cage. He definitely is just like how Hugh Jackman made Wolverine his own, or how Robert Downey Jr. made Iron Man his own. Because this character I really do like a lot, especially like in the comics, how he teams up with a lot of people like Iron Fist, which I'm about to speak about very soon. Because that has to be my favorite episode in this entire season. Episode 11, when Iron Fist and Luke Cage team up, that has to be my favorite episode in the entire season, because I do love the chemistry between Danny Rand and Luke Cage, because those two work very well together, especially since they work very well in the comics. And the Iron Fist show definitely needed some improvement. Hopefully Season 2 can improve on that. But Iron Fist is a very awesome character. And like I said, this episode, especially when they fight off the group of thugs, that is awesome. That is awesome, guys. If you haven't seen that episode, or if you're still binge watching, look forward to that episode. That is an awesome episode. And like I said, Finn Jones and Mike Coulter, the chemistry together meshed very well. And I thought that it was like a very like it was a great episode. I thought like just like how Hulk and Thor, they teamed up in Thor Ragnarok, and some of the other MCU characters when they teamed up in their films. And this just almost beats the MCU films by a long shot. Just how grounded to reality the Netflix Marvel shows are, even though they take place in the same universe as the MCU. I like how just like grounded and very like almost realistic these shows are compared to the MCU. How they're just big multi-million-dollar CGI films almost most majority of the time, where the show feels like an actual like show, like takes place in the real world. And this is a comic book show that has a character who has unbreakable skin, but they figured out a way to make it like almost like believable and realistic, and make it seem like this could like fit into like this realistic world that is in the same universe as a talking tree and a talking raccoon and a guy who has like just I can't really like pronounce, I can't really like say it, but like, you know, Doctor Strange with his like finger thingies. And yeah, like same world. And another one of my favorite episodes in the season is actually episode 3, especially towards like the last 10 minutes of that episode, with Luke Cage and Claire, their conversation, that episode has to be one of the best moments I've ever seen in any Marvel anything. Like the acting and how the dialogue, it was like that was like tremendous acting those two had, Rosario Dawson and Mike Coulter, in the last few minutes of episode 3, and that honestly had to be like one of my favorite moments in any Marvel anything, and that was like a very emotional and powerful scene. I also gotta say, if you guys seen that scene in episode 3, you know what I'm talking about. Like that was a very like it was powerful. It was strong. No pun intended. But that like scene alone, that was outstanding. That deserves an Emmy, a Golden Globe. That deserves all the awards to those two. Now, a hero has to have a good villain as well. And let me tell you guys, Bushmaster is one crazy mofo. My god, guys. This guy is psycho. He is psychotic. And this guy, like, he is like, it's like Luke Cage has finally met his match. Like, he basically he's almost bulletproof, but at the same time, he's not bulletproof. If you watch the show, you could definitely see you definitely like get what I'm talking about. But this guy is like, he is like insane. Like, he is Jamaican. Bushmaster is just Jamaican, and he is just as strong as a fighter as Luke Cage, if not as strong. I say like episode 6 is where like the final couple minutes of the episode is like probably like an intense fight like between Bushmaster and Luke Cage. Like that fight scene between those two like got me on the edge of my seat. It almost was like the first battle sequence between T'Challa and Killmonger and Black Panther, the challenge scene in Black Panther. It was almost like that, where I was like, "Oh crap, that that is intense. That was it. Really, it was really like at the point I was like, wow, the Marvel Netflix shows are probably better than the Marvel movies. It got me almost thinking that way because, like, just from that scene alone, and from many scenes as well, which I'm gonna mention very soon. And we also get Mariah Dillard and Shades back in the show. Obviously, those two are still scheming, are still evil, and screwed up like how they was in the first season. And really, Mariah Dillard's Alfred Woodard does an amazing job in his role. I love Alfred Woodard a lot as an actress, and her character Mariah Dillard, I think she's a lot more like sadistic in the season than in the last season, because she is like a very like screwed up and creepy character. And I know I keep saying like favorite moments in the show, like in episodes, but the last couple minutes at episode 10, where she had a conversation with her and her daughter, that was like some real like effed up stuff that she said. Honestly, that also was great acting from her. That was like, wow, really like props to Alfred Woodard, and how she improvised that whole scene really was like amazing. We also get Misty Knight back in the season. I love Misty Knight as a character, and she now has a robotic right arm since her right arm got sliced off in the last few episodes of the Defenders. And Misty Knight is a great character. She's a cool character. She's a very strong character. I love her character a lot, and her relationship with Luke Cage. And I also love how this season explores the relationship between Luke and his father, played by the late Reggie Cathy. May he rest in peace. Their acting and their dialogue with each other is so amazing. You can definitely buy the fact that these two are father and son. And their relationship, you gotta say, it's not the best, but it is what it is. I can say, like, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but it is what it is. So overall, I enjoyed season 2 of Luke Cage. Do their thing that needs to be improved? Yeah, of course. Not everything is perfect, obviously, but this season is just as strong as the first season, and it's definitely one of the highlights of the Marvel Netflix series so far, and I cannot wait for season 3, if they ever do make a season 3. I'm gonna give season 2 of Luke Cage an A-. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and if you guys have finished binge watching Luke Cage season 2, let me know what you think of season 2 in the comment section down below. Love you here, dots. And as always, guys, if you're new to my channel, if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.